Many tasks can be completed for a purchase order through the procurement cycle. In this lesson, I will show you how to do the following tasks. We'll copy a purchase order, view totals for a purchase order, cancel an order line, view and compare purchase order versions, and create cases or activities that are related to the purchase orders. Let's open AX and take a look at these processes. I'm here in the Procurement and Sourcing module, and underneath Common Purchase Orders, I'll open the All Purchase Orders list page. I'll start by showing you how to copy a purchase order. I'll generate a new purchase order by clicking the New Purchase Order button and select the vendor. I'll click OK, which will open the Purchase Order Details form. Instead of manually adding lines to my order, I'm going to use the Copy from All button in the Action pane. You'll notice there's also a Copy from Journal button. The difference between these two buttons is Copy from All allows you to copy from any purchase order, and the Copy from Journal button only allows you to copy from a journal type purchase order. On the Copy from All form, you'll notice there's a list of all the purchase orders in the system. You can select any purchase order, even if it's not from the same vendor. If you wanted to filter the list, you can use any of the filtering functions. I'm going to select Purchase Order 37. You can mark the Select All checkbox next to the purchase order, which will automatically mark each of the lines. If there are multiple lines on the purchase order, you could mark the individual lines that you wish to copy. If there are also lines from another purchase order that you want to copy, you can select the other purchase order and then mark the individual lines as well. If you've marked multiple lines from multiple orders, you can use the Show Selected Transactions tab to see all the different lines that you have selected. You'll also notice 3 additional tabs, one for confirmations, which will show you a list of all purchase order confirmations in the system. You can choose any confirmation to copy from. Likewise, you can choose product receipts and invoices. At the top portion of the form, there are several fields that allow us to apply quantity factors and change the settings of how the system will copy the order. By default, the quantity factor will be 1, which means the quantities from each line will be copied exactly. If you wanted to double the original order that you're copying from, you could set the quantity factor to 2. You'll also notice an Invert Sign button. This checkbox is used to invert the sign of the quantities. This is useful if you needed to create a return. In the Setup group, there are several checkboxes which indicate whether or not you want to copy charges such as freight and handling, if you want to copy precisely, if you want to copy the order header, if the prices should be recalculated, and whether or not you want to delete purchase lines. If this checkbox is selected and there are currently lines on the order, all of the lines on the order would be deleted and replaced with the new selections. When you're ready, you can click OK. Once the order has been copied, you'll notice the lines are populated down into the Purchase Order Lines tab. You can update any of the information. You could override the quantities. You could change the pricing information. You could go to the order header and change any other information. Next, I'm going to show you how we can cancel a portion of a line. I'm going to close this purchase order and find another purchase order that's currently open. I'm going to use this purchase order number 35 for Contoso Office Supplies and click Edit. In some cases, a vendor may not be able to provide all of the quantity of a particular purchase order. I'm going to modify this purchase order so that there's a quantity of 100. Let's say that the vendor, I'm going to accept the price updates, and let's say the vendor has delivered 98 of these items. So I'll go ahead and post a product receipt for 98 of these items, and then I'll cancel the remaining to quantity. So I'm going to click the Receive tab in the Action pane, Actually, first I need to confirm the order, so I'm going to click the Purchase tab in the Action pane and then click Confirm. Once the order is confirmed, then I can receive 98 for this purchase order by clicking the Receive tab in the Action pane and then clicking Product Receipt. I'll type in a number for the product receipt and go to the Lines tab and change the quantity to 98 and click OK. Now that I have received 98 of these, I'm going to use the Update Line button, which is underneath the More button, and then select Deliver Remainder. This will open a new screen where I can choose to cancel a portion or all of the quantity. If you expand the plus sign, you can see the inventory quantity that's remaining for a particular line as well. I want to go ahead and cancel this quantity, so I will click Cancel Quantity. Now if we go back and refresh this screen, the status of the order should be updated to Received, and you can see there the status is Received because 98 were received and the remaining 2 were canceled. Next, I'm going to show you how to compare purchase order versions. Since we changed this purchase order from a quantity of 1 to 100, 2 confirmations were posted. If we go to the Manage tab and click Compare Purchase Order Versions in the History group, we will be able to see the different purchase order confirmations that have been posted. Here you can see each of the different versions and which fields were changed. In this case, multiple fields have been updated with various different values. You can click through the values and see what the old and new values are. If you use the View Purchase Order Versions, then you can view each individual version of the purchase order. Now that we have performed some other tasks for purchase orders, let's review the various list pages and inquiries that you can use to monitor your purchase orders.